Hey, hey,
Yo, what is going on?
back for
Fellas,
another week.
lads.
H2O, Tom? Is that
Ah,
vodka?
The
Beer, beer.
professionals put
mixed
vodka.
in
The
here.
professionals put vodka in the Poland Spring bottle. We all know that from high school, right?
We
Yeah, the
might.
guys who you know, snow plow and everything. They always have that Stewart's cup ready to go.
Absolutely. Tom, what is going on tonight, my friend?
Not much, man. Just another night in Queens. Um, hanging in there. Free agency entering. Week two,
Slower week too.
slower week, and I know tonight
Thank
we're gonna have a
God.
bit of a different show for the folks, George. Right?
You gonna run our socials first, or
Oh, of course. How can I
Yeah.
forget?
you had the banner ready and everything? Fucking guy.
Folks, go check us out on all of our social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube as well at 1925 The New York Giants Podcast.
That Ohio State bullshit fucking drives me bananas, boy.
Then
Bananas.
you could say it next week. It don't matter to me.
You're right. It's your job, and I'm just shitting on it. But I'm telling you, every fucking time I hear the Ohio State, every time you say it, even though I know you're not. But so, like you alluded to before, but I digest or digress, one of the two. We do have a slower free agency week, but tonight we do have a very special guest. We have Eddie Mata, podcaster, actor, interviewer. When we were first tooling around with the idea of doing this podcast, he was actually one of the interviews I was watching the most of because, and we'll talk about it in this episode, I really like his angle with the actors and the players. It's not so much from an X and O standpoint. It's more about the backstory, the back life, the nightlife, the shit that we want to hear as fans, not necessarily the stuff, NFL films will tell us, right?
Absolutely.
sense?
Yeah. Let's bring him up. George, you
Sure.
ready? Nick,
Sure.
good to go?
Yep.
Let's go.
Eddie Mata, welcome to the show.
What's going on, man?
Hey, what's happening, guys? So nice. Thank you for having me. Seriously, an honor.
Absolutely, man. Our
How's
pleasure.
It's great to meet you.
how's the weather there right now? You getting a lot of rain and high winds?
Well, the precipitation right here in New York City is high. I mean, 60 degrees, but lots of rain.
Lots
We've had
of
a
rain.
bad winter too. Brutal winter.
Oh my God, yeah, it was a disaster. I mean, it's crazy. 2 weeks ago, when remember when we had that storm, right?
Yeah.
So I was supposed to fly out to Tampa Monday night, but they canceled it, Delta. And they said Tuesday morning, they canceled it, and it said Tuesday night. But Monday, I was shoveling for 3 hours, guys. And then the next night, I was in Tampa with my boy because he's the team security for the Yankees. So I was staying with him, and I was on the, networking with not just the Yankees, but the opposing, like the Blue Jays, the Braves, the opposing teams. So I had fun for 2 weeks, hanging out at University of Tampa too. I don't know if you guys know baseball, former
Yeah, of
Yankee.
course. Well, he doesn't know shit. He's a Met fan over there. But
All right.
me and Nick know real baseball
Queens. Come on.
across the bridge. You know what I mean?
But it was crazy because Sam Militello, I don't know if you remember him. He only had a 2-year career, but I was at his major league debut, and he's the pitching coach for the University of Tampa.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I met up with those guys. I had a lot of fun, a lot of pickleball, smoking cigars. Yeah, so it was great. It was great. And then
What's the vibe of spring training? I've never gone.
spring training is great if like you're a parent or you're a collector because they're right there. You could get autographs, you could get all that stuff. I mean, it's really close, So it's a good if you're a family man or if you want memorabilia, those guys will sign. Oh yeah, it's a perfect time to go.
Yeah, my brother's brought his kids before, and I've seen the photos. He's right up close, meeting all the players. Yeah, I've never been personally either, but yeah, it looks like a great time.
Lots of fun, and I played a lot of pickleball too, man. Because when my boy would go on the road, meaning in Florida, I wouldn't go. I would just have the day off for me, and I would just play pickleball, hang out, meet people. I talk to everybody. I don't care. That's how I am.
What a wild sport pickleball is. You don't move at all, but by the end of it, you're covered in sweat. Like it's crazy.
Oh, brother, man, I'm sweating like R. Kelly in the daycare, man. Trust me. So, yeah, man, it's a lot, especially in Tampa. The weather, it was like kind of like humid, and hot, and you're like, whoa, okay, but you burn the calories like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Florida could be relentlessly warm. Like you just can't get away from it, except for that 2-hour rainstorm every day where it cools off for a little bit. But
Oh, yeah,
That's called nap time. That's the best part.
exactly.
So Eddie, for those of you who don't know you, who is Eddie Mata? Tell us about yourself.
Well, that's what I love when people they actually say, "Who the hell is Eddie Mata?" My boy Nick Totoro, the actor, Nick Totoro, the diehard
absolutely.
Yankees fan. So I met him at an audition in LA. It was an Entourage audition, and he was there, and he looking at me, and it's like, "Yo, buddy, you look familiar," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, who am I then?" He's like, "Wait a minute, were you the guy on that Yankees network with the yes and this and that?" I was like, "Oh yeah," and I was like, "You actually remember me?" He goes, "Yeah." So that we became good friends, and then he's like, "Eddie, every time you're in a big event, you're always there." And it's like, who the hell is Eddie Mata? That's the perfect sitcom right there. Yeah, I was raised in Brooklyn, grew up in Brooklyn, and I went to high school called FDR. And then after that, I was a average high school player, but once I played college baseball, that's when it blew up. I was down at Palm Beach Atlantic University. I was a late bloomer, and I just, hit career 400 down there. Had so much fun. I had the scholarship. First, I was a walk-on, then I had the scholarship, and it was great, man. It was just it. I mean, it was remarkable playing college baseball at that level down there. It was an NAIA school, so it was like a Division II type of school. Now it's Division II, and after that, I became a high school gym teacher with my degree. And after 5 years, I retired. I said, no, I want to pursue an entertainment. And I love acting. I love hosting. I love shooting the shit. And that's what happened, man. After teaching for 5 years, I took a leave of absence and become a substitute teacher. And then after that, you could report anytime you want. At the same time, I was at the nightclubs, promoting. I was just going, this is what you got to do as an actor, And finally, Ryan Seacrest production, they called me and they said, listen, you won the Ryan Seacrest Red Carpet Challenge. He wants you to be his host on the red carpet for the 2007 Emmys. And then, yeah. And after that, and after that, I was surrounded by stars. I was just being myself. And then Ryan Seacrest says, listen, you want a career in LA, man, you got to move. At the time, my niece was just born. I was like, man, you got to sacrifice. So I moved to LA from 2008 to officially 2020. But I was bi-coastal from 2015 and up because I went to the conservatory acting school because my next door neighbor was, may he rest in peace, was Chadwick Boseman, the Black Panther. We were really tight. We were great friends. And I told him one day, I was like, I want to be transformable. He goes, go to acting school in New York City. From there, when I graduated, it was a 2-year program. I said, Chadwick, you don't have to text me anymore. You're A-list because it was the Black Panther premiere. And he says, Eddie Mata, you better text me. You will always be A-list to me. So, it was a great feeling when he told me that. Then after that, he passed away on my birthday. It was sad.
Oh, shit.
Years, 2020, August 28th.
How old was he when he passed? He was a young man.
Yeah, he was. He just probably turned 40, maybe.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah.
Now, was that a surprise to you? Because correct me if I'm wrong, but it was cancer, right?
Mm-hmm. It was actually colon cancer.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, I don't want to be nasty, but that morning I had my colonoscopy done at 45 years old.
Oh no, shit.
And I come out, and I'm like, what? I started crying, man. I couldn't believe it. He was such a great guy. We would talk all the time. I mean, literally, he was next door to me. You know what I mean? So we shoot the shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's
Rest his soul.
Yeah. So for you guys if you're 45 right now, please do your colonoscopy. I know it's a crazy subject, but it's a silent killer. I'm telling you right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
no, I mean, there's a lot out right now. It's with James Vanderbeek who just passed, and so there's a lot of awareness out there again right now. Tom is fortunate. Tom's fucking 29 years old or however. How old are you, Tom?
What am I, the little brother here? I'm 30. Come on.
Yeah, but you know what? They keep backing that the colonoscopy age back every other year.
Oh, you're right.
When I was growing up, it was like 60 years old. And it
Yeah.
just keeps going.
Well, how old are you right now?
I'm 40. Nick's 40. Tom's
Okay.
30.
Tom's
Right, so
30.
I turned 50, and I remember they said, and I remember growing up, 60 was the first time, then
Yep.
55, then 50, and now 45. They're going young. But with African Americans, they're going 35 right now.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's insane.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Jeez.
Check your colons, motherfuckers. Check them out.
Yeah.
exactly.
Get them
Please.
checked out.
I might not
They
like you,
knock
but
you
please take care of your health, please.
Absolutely.
Try to segue out of that, Thomas.
I will. So, Eddie, enjoying your personality a lot. Can you talk a little bit about what shaped your personality growing up and kind of like what your childhood was like?
My childhood was, I grew up with a single mom, my brother and I. My father left me when I was 4. I don't know where he is. It could be your father, maybe. I don't know. But, it was just my mom raised me. Started working at 12 years old as a paper boy in the morning, delivering newspapers, making like $35 to $50 a week, which is fine with me for a 12-year-old.
Yeah,
Right?
for a kid.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
That's a lot of comic books.
Yeah, exactly. And after that, when I turned 14, I worked at a catering hall. It was literally all gangsters in Brooklyn, like the mob. You know how in the 90s, early 90s, they're always popular. Articles about them. And, my mom said, hey, you could work only on Friday nights and Saturday nights. And I would make like $300 a night and give that money to my mom while she was at school. And I would keep like 50 for myself, So I was a hardworking guy at that age already, and I knew how to wash clothes at 8 years old. My mom, I'm a visual learner. Once you show me, I'm good. So I did that. Then I played high school baseball, and at the same time, on a Friday night, if we didn't have a game, I would tell the bosses, "Hey, I could come in at 6." You know what I mean? But other than that, I can't. I can't come in at 2:00. So the wintertime I did that, and then when high school baseball was over, I would play, I would have a Legion team, my summer league, my traveling team. So my schedule will be Friday night I'm working. I get home by like 2:30 a.m., 3 a.m. I got to wake up at like 6:30 for a doubleheader. After the doubleheader, get to the catering hall by like 3, work again until 2:30, 3 a.m., Sunday doubleheader. I mean, it was just an everyday thing, man.
And now they can't get fucking teenagers to get a job.
No.
They can't. They can't get adults to get a job. Nobody wants to work
Sure.
anymore. What
So-
position did you play?
I played outfield and first base. I was a typical left-handed hitter. I was more like a 400 type of hitter. Tony Gwynn, Wade Boggs. I ain't hit for power. You know what I mean? I wasn't that guy.
You're a contact hitter.
Yeah, I was a contact. To me, you're not striking me out. I mean, that's the bottom line. College, my on base was like 450, and because I would have like 60 walks a year. Yeah, I'm not striking out. I'm not going down like that.
You were at Tampa? My brother went to Flagler.
No, I was at Palm Beach Atlantic
You were
University.
at Palm Beach Atlantic. Sorry. Yeah.
So it was a small school. And the crazy thing is, when I graduated from Palm Beach Atlantic University, my senior year, they announced that Gary Carter is going to be the head coach in 2001. And I graduated in 2000. And I was like,
Oh, no shit.
yeah. So
Tom is Tom's really into what you just said right there.
Listen, George. Be careful.
All right. So, what are you gonna have me whacked over the fucking internet? At what point did you realize that you had the personality to entertain people? Growing up,
at what point? It was more like high school, like freshman year. So I was like, people would tell me you're funny, and I'm like, all right, I am. I'm just being myself. Sometimes you don't know when you're funny, but people find you funny. It's like I think. When I studied acting too, I think it's like the more serious you are, the funnier you are. So when you watch sitcoms, you see when people complaining, it's hilarious. So that's what I realized in high school. I was funny. I wasn't a class clown. I wasn't that guy. I would kiss the teacher's ass because I wanted an A. You know what I mean, oh yeah, you know, your traps look good. Oh yeah, right. With the females, your earrings look really nice. Not even the traps to make them feel better.
I should have
that one
tried
off.
that method. My high school career was tough and long.
Talk about the Regents exam.
Catholic school in Queens is strict.
Right. Okay. But I would charm even in college, and if it was a nice female professor, okay, look, oh, hair looks great, yeah, and then I would pretend like I'm listening, like this, look, like I'm really into her, but I'm not listening shit. You know what I mean? It's just, like, the acting chops are starting back then.
I know. I hope she doesn't ask me about this later because I have no fucking clue what she said. I get it.
All right.
I remember one semester in college, I had a teacher who was going through a divorce, and I don't know why I know that, but she was, and she fucking hated every male in that classroom. It didn't, no matter what we did, she just fucking stared at us with anger and distaste for men. And yeah, that's why I'm hosting a podcast at 8 p.m. for no money at this point.
Start that way.
So, Eddie, what were some early struggles you faced when you were trying to build a career in acting?
Acting, I always tell people this, this is the only occupation you could be the best and still not work. And it sucks. It really does. I auditioned for so many stuff and you come so close, you still don't get it. And it's not because you suck. It's because just because you buy Gucci sneakers over Pradas, does that mean Pradas suck? No. It's just you didn't fit.
Right. It's the right fit. Yeah.
The right fit. The struggles back then, I really wanted to be a transformable actor, and meaning like, the voice and speech, physicality. London actors are the best in that. They train like Olympians. And I really wanted to be a transformable actor. When people say, oh, wow, that was Eddie Mata. Oh, I never knew that. What? You know what I mean? And because of the acting school, which I enrolled in 2015, I mean, I gave up everything, making great money with commercials, voiceovers, gave up everything, and just to pursue, to become better. And I feel like, if you want to be good and you want to get better, you got to have an athlete's mind, man. And thank God I have that, because I love working hard. I love, working on my voice and speech. I love working on script analysis. The hardest thing now is when you're an actor, when you watch film, you can't really enjoy it because you're thinking about acting.
Apart.
You're dissecting it. Yeah.
And it sucks because I really want to enjoy it, but I can't.
Right.
So, so school really paid off. And now look, are there some natural actors out there? Absolutely. But I feel, in my opinion, if you want to be transformable, a guy like Ed Norton or Christian Bale or, John Turturro, which is great. I mean, I think, he went to Yale. Ed Norton went to Yale. Meryl Streep went to Yale. She's a Jersey woman. So, to be transformable, I think acting school's great. Now, if you're like Bruce Willis, Brad Pitt, do they play themselves great? Absolutely. Extremely talented. But I never seen Bruce Willis transform into something that you're like, what? Like what Christian Bale did, Eddie Redmayne, these actors like that. You know what I mean? So that's what I believe in when I say transformable.
Nice. Yeah.
Now who's an actor that you worked with where you were just like, holy shit, he's on a different level?
Well, I didn't work, but I met like Jeremy Renner when I met him. I met is it Statham, the action star, the bald-headed guy?
Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Funny story. We're at the Golden Globes after party. Now, usually at the Golden Globes after party, it's like at the Beverly Hilton Hotel, and there's 8 different parties because you got the CBS party, the NBC, you got the Netflix, and you got the Weinstein party. So this was in 2009. Yeah, the Weinstein party. Yeah, exactly.
I thought I heard that wrong.
Oh no, it's him. It's Harvey.
We know who he is.
Right. So it's 2009, the Golden Globes, and I'm at the Weinstein party, And next thing you know, that was the year when Mark Sanchez with the Jets were going to the championship, the AFC, right?
AFC Championship. Yep.
So I know his brother, that he's a huge Jets fan. So Harvey passes right by me. I'm like, yo, Harvey, Jets got a shot. Holy shit. Even though I'm not a Jets fan, but, I'm trying to make him, connect with him. He's like, yeah, whatever, kid. Get out of my face. Staten looks at him and then looks at me. He's like, hey, fuck him. Come party with us. So I'm hanging out with Staten and all the fucking guys. I'm just shooting the shit with them. It was crazy, man.
That's fucking wild. So it sounds like Harvey Weinstein's been a stand-up guy for a very long time.
Oh yeah, it's fucking fuck him, yo. And
Yeah, what a piece of shit.
Yeah, hang out with bikers and have a guy named Bubba hang out with you even more. Take care, right?
There you go. Wow.
So yeah, but I as far as like when I was in acting class, there's a difference. Acting class is like you take it once a week, right? You want to maintain. Acting school is like full time. You're like a full time student now. You know what I mean? But in acting class, there were a couple of actors. Who's the one that played We Are the Champion of his life story? What's his name? The guy that sings We Are the Champion.
Oh, you talking about Freddie Mercury, the biopic.
Yeah. So the guy that won the Oscar, it was like probably 5 years ago, he was in my acting class. I remember him. He was good. Sure. Yeah. There was a girl named Jen Ortiz, I think her name is. Yeah, she's a series regular. Dominic Lombardozzi, Tulsa King, Ray Donovan, The Wire. That guy's a great guy.
Donovan. He is.
He's good. We talked about acting and stuff like that.
Whenever he was in Law and Order, you knew he was the criminal.
Right, exactly.
He like reoccurred in Law and Order. You're like, oh, I see him. He's gonna be the bad guy.
Yeah.
So Paul Raci, he's the one that won. He was nominated for an Oscar for the movie Sound of Metal. We became great friends. So every time I will audition, self-tape auditioning now, there's no more casting offices. I would send him my stuff and he would talk to me. No, Eddie, I want you to adjust to this. Stephen Bauer from the movie Scarface, the good-looking guy back in the days, Al Pacino.
Manny.
Manolo, yeah. So we I talk to these guys and it's just the art, it's the preparation, it's what do you see as a character. And what I learned in acting school, most importantly, is that my acting teacher told me that, Eddie, make believe there's no audio. And if there's no audio and the viewers could understand what you're doing, then you're on point.
Right.
That's fucking deep. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
That's wild, Nick. That is absolutely wild. Think about what he just said real quick.
Yeah. Really turn off the audio. And if you turn off the audio, and you could even try it with Meryl Streep, with these greatest actors, you will see, like, oh shit, I know exactly what's going on.
Hey Tom, we should try that one podcast. Fucking shut off George's audio and let's see how it works.
Yeah, we should. I mean, it would be pretty entertaining to me. Speaking of entertainment, Eddie, what was the biggest lesson the entertainment industry taught you early on?
The biggest lesson I learned is that welcome to rejection world. And 98% of the time, you're going to get rejected. And it's just that simple. You take it personal, go back to New York and get a 9 to 5.
Yeah, we're actually in that world too with getting guests sometimes. So we know what you're talking. I've learned to embrace it. The first couple kind of stung, like we shouldn't do it. I was going to say who said something, but someone we looked up to was like, no thanks, and didn't even spell it right. And that irked me for a second. And I was like, you know what? That's fine. It's all good. Just message more people, figure out other ways to network.
Listen, guys, I know you guys just started, but I'm telling you right now, embrace the rejection because it's going to pay off later on. It's going to pay off. I have 85 guests on my podcast right now. Trust me, the rejection was strong in the beginning, and now I got receipts to back it up. What? Here's my list. All right, give me your cell. Here's my number. Call me. I just interviewed Luke Rockhold, the UFC fighter.
Yeah, UFC fighter. MMA.
Yeah, former UFC fighter, but it's just that easy now for me. And you guys will get there. You just got to take the rejection and say, move on and keep going. It's that simple.
Oh, we do.
Yeah, I personally don't get offended by it. I'm like, they replied. That's something. even if it's a fuck you, I'm like, all right, thank you. You talked to us. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So It's all good. So that the rejection, it's just get used to it, and you could be the best, you're still not going to get the part. Simple.
So, what made you start to focus on a podcast or an interview-based kind of webisode thing while you were doing the acting? Like, where did that shift happen?
Well, we all had no lives in 2020, right? March. I mean, this is what, that 6-year anniversary right now. This is the time when
That's
COVID
crazy.
hit.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
So, but before that, what was crazy was I did Yankees fantasy camp. So Yankees fantasy camp is like you're in the big leagues for a whole week. You got the baseball schedule. It's like, trainer's room, they massage you. You're in the big league. So, I met Homer Bush for the first time, and I knew of Charlie Hayes, all these Yankees, former Yankees, and he said, "Yo, Eddie, whatever you need, let us know. Here's my cell, whatever." So then when COVID hit, I was like, man, I text Homer Bush. I said, "You have no life. I have no life. The whole world has no lives. You're coming on my fucking podcast, and don't even say you're busy because you're not." And he was like, "I got you, brother." And that's how I started.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
So, have you noticed a big difference between when you get them on camera or when you get them off? What's the difference off camera? How are they? Their personalities? Is there a big shift or?
No, there's no difference. I think, see, like for instance, there's some athletes that will say, "Hey, Eddie, I would love to do your podcast, but I'm uncomfortable on camera." Okay, you got a legitimate excuse, no big deal. No, they're the same. Here's the thing. I'm not bragging. I guess I got this gift of gab. I make them feel comfortable. And I think if you watch my intros right in the beginning, it's like, bring the noise, baby. I'm welcoming. And I think from there they feel comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, we've only done a few, but what I've noticed is if you can get them comfortable, some of them, what I've noticed is when we first start, they don't know how to react, and then as we just start talking like we're talking right now, they realize we're just having a conversation, we're just bullshitting. Yes, we're live, but just relax, have fun. Just don't endorse anything fucking controversial, and just be safe, but have fun.
Yeah.
And one obscure fact, for whatever reason, every week a millionaire pedophile comes up in conversation on Giants podcast. That's what's really wild. And we haven't let in really with any of it, right, Nick? Like,
No, yeah.
it just organically happens. It's the
We got
beauty of it.
Tish.
Look, we got the Tish guy. I mean, that's New York Giants owner, man. He can't go higher than that.
No, I know. That was the curveball I didn't see coming. That was not on my bingo card, but holy fuck.
Didn't he transfer his money to trust to his kids or something like that?
Yeah, they
Yep.
they took their ball and went home as far as business decisions go, which is probably the smart move. The Maras don't need that right now with everything going on. Trying to reshape the team and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. And I'm sure a lot of guests, I know a lot of guests that we have mentioned stuff about this, but Eddie, any guests that you've had in the past about anything really that have been on your show where you thought they said something that made you think, oh, wow, like this might blow up, like on the spot, you're thinking, yeah, that might be really good to post.
Here's the thing. I don't plan that. I really don't. Guys open up to me, and when they say it, and like, for instance, when I had Jabba Chamberlain, and that's where it blew me up, it went viral and it made the New York Post, Yahoo Sports, Sports Illustrated articles online. I just asked him a simple question. It wasn't planned. I was like, listen, are there any players you didn't get along? You don't have to call them out, but does that happen, in a Major League Baseball team, And he's like, oh, right away, the way he said Kevin Youkilis, fuck him. I can't stand him. I was like, oh, okay.
I also agree with Jabba on that. Fuck Euclid. Cheers.
So it's like, all right, no big deal. It was like a 52-second clip. I put it out there. Boom.
Boom.
I get text messages at 6 a.m. I'm in Miami, and they're like, "Yo, Eddie, your shit's going viral. Look, the New York Post wrote about it. Look." And I was, oh shit, because of this question. And it just happened naturally, man. It wasn't planned to be like, I want to go viral,
So, what
Absolutely.
is the biggest difference between interviewing the actors and the athletes, if any?
There's no difference because every actor wants to be an athlete and every athlete wants to be an actor.
Oh, that's so true too.
Yeah, if you think about it, yeah. So, I know both languages. I went to the Conservatory Acting School. I played college baseball on scholarship, so I know both languages, and it's my field, you know. Now, you know, like a UFC, he was my first UFC guest, but this guy is like a stud. He was modeling. I mean, girls go crazy for this guy. I even asked him, I said, how many girls DM you today? Millions. Said it straight up. I mean, he's a stud. If you Google him right now, his name is Luke Rockhold, and you'll see people like, holy shit.
Do you think athletes tend to open up more than actors though? Do you find them very less candid, I guess?
Pretty much even. Look, like Tom Glavine, he told me a story. Like I said, did Bobby Cox ever, you know, put a person in this place? You know? And he says, I'm not going to call out names, but this is what Bobby Cox did. See how he answered that. See what I mean? Mm-hmm. So stuff like that. It's you know, it depends. Tom Glavine is more of a reserved guy, very professional. You know, you got Jabba, that's outgoing. Sean Casey is fucking the best. He's outgoing. Yeah. You got Joe West, the umpire. He's fucking nuts. I mean, I love it. You know, I got David Sampson. He just tell it like it is. So, you know, Vincent D'Onofrio, when I interviewed him in the beginning, he was a little tight, but people were impressed with me because they said, Eddie, you got him to open up a lot, man. You know, it just happens. It's like, you know, great acting is when you're not thinking about it. It just happens. Natural impulse, you know?
I got to look that one up. I love Vincent D'Onofrio. He's phenomenal.
I mean, it's long. We went for an hour and a half. My man gave me time.
That's a good one.
I got time.
Yeah.
You know who'd probably be a wild, fun, scary? I don't even know if you could fucking post it. What about John Rocker?
Yeah, I would. Listen, here's the thing about Rocker. If you're looking for a lot of views, and you know what? If you do it the right way, yeah, Rocker will open up to you without a doubt. I don't like talking politics. I told Robert Davi, the Goonies actor, I said, listen, Dav, no fucking politics. I'm not into that shit. It's not entertainment. It's negative. You're entertaining me of your acting, all the films. We're talking about that, or sports. I'm not talking about, you know, politics. I don't even know what's going on in politics because it's so negative.
I know. Oh, yeah. It's just,
you know, I don't watch CNN, Fox. I don't none of that shit, man. To me, what we have right now, we have the World Baseball Classic, entertainment. You got free agents, New York Giants, 4 Ravens came in, entertainment. We're gonna see what's going on, right? What else? Then we got the March Madness coming up, entertainment. Opening day of baseball, entertainment. That's what I enjoy, man.
St. John's, baby.
That's what people want to see at the end of the day, right? That's why people are tuning into us. They just worked a long day, 9 to 5, whatever it may be. They come home, they sit here, they watch this podcast. You're 100% right, Eddie. They want to hear us shoot the shit, have a good time, and entertain them. And, you know, whether it's interviewing athletes or, you know, actors or, you know, media personalities like yourself, I want to ask you this. Have you noticed any common personality traits among elite athletes?
Like, what do you mean by that? Like, give me an example.
Like, you know how you spoke to Tom Glavine, Jabba Chamberlain. Did they have anything in common? Like when you interviewed them, was there anything similar about them that made you, you know, personality-wise while being interviewed?
No, it's really, you know, like I said before, Tom Glavine is more a reserved guy. Sean Casey's an outgoing guy. Ryan Dempster's outgoing. Ferguson Jenkins, I mean, he's in his 80s, you know, legend. He was reserved, but he was also outgoing, you know, like really friendly, really nice. You know, I think the most important thing is how do they feel about you, the way you're communicating with them. It's the same thing when you meet your wife for the first time, when your wife now, but back then your girlfriend or whatever. It's how do you make her feel? Is she comfortable with you? That's the bottom line. And remember, guys, they might be, you know, like reserved, you know, back in the days when they played, but then all of a sudden you're like, wow, this guy's outgoing. This guy's great. You know, so you just don't know.
That's actually really true. And from your perspective, being in the seat you're in, what do you think makes the world of sports so good for helping with like the storytelling on your platform?
Man, it's the behind the scenes. I love
Absolutely.
tell me where you partied after the Super Bowl, man. Where'd you guys go? It's normal. You're in your 20s, you're getting blasted after the Super Bowl. It's normal. You're not drinking and driving, you're getting blasted, you're celebrating, you're throwing up the next day, you're getting on the plane, you're going back home, and now you got to prepare for the parade. Those are the stories I love.
Me too.
Yeah.
Totally.
And with football, the one of me and Nick's favorite is asking these players, the guys you couldn't stand in the locker room, the guys on the other team you couldn't,
Yeah.
give a shit about, that kind of stuff. We love that.
Yeah, and those are stories. Forget stats. I don't give a shit about stats. Stats, you can Google it, right? Stats is fine. Like for instance, like I interviewed Jason Isringhausen. He's a former Met.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, and the one stat that really stood out for me was, he was like the 1147th pick, right? And there was 2,000 picks that year of the 1991 draft in Major League Baseball. And I asked him this question. I said, guess how many guys, when you got picked from 1147 to 2000, how many played 10 or more years in the big leagues? And he was like, how many? I was like, only 3. Think about that. See, I usually do, when it comes to stats, it's the underdogs that guys got drafted late. He was round 24th, something like that. So I want to see how many guys made it, and continued having a career more than 10 years. Only 3. Wow. That's 900. That's like 850 players did not have a career.
Like process that for a minute, right?
So fucking wild.
Well, many are called, few are chosen, right? I mean,
Yeah.
It's always the mantra from being a little kid. Baseball stops for everybody. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, and with Tom Brady, when I, you guys know Pepper Johnson. When I interviewed Pepper Johnson, and somebody says they hate the Ohio State, but he went to Ohio State University.
No.
So with Pep, I asked him. I said, summer when Tom Brady got drafted, what did he do in camp? And he was a defensive coach back then, Pep, beginning of Tom Brady's career. He got 3 rocks with him. And he told me that he would literally come to the facility around 6 a.m. and look at videotapes. And then Belichick would be like, hey, I needed the tapes on the defense or the offense. Where are the tapes? So like, Pepper's like, oh, Tom Brady's in a different room. He has the tapes. He's like, who? Tom Brady. Oh.
Yeah, he was barely on the roster at that point.
Yeah. It was in the 199th pick. And
I think he did all right, though.
He did okay, right?
Yeah, he did all right. Hey,
His
at least
wife was okay looking. I mean,
right. Oh, well, listen, here's the stat I tell everybody. He was 0-2 against the New York Giants. That's all I care about.
Oh, that's all that
100%.
matters.
That's the best stat at the end of the day.
Yep, exactly.
Crazy.
The best. My favorite piece of work Tom Brady's ever done was the roast that Netflix put on a few years ago.
That was awesome, right?
Yeah, that was great.
Who's that? What's that woman's name that does the Golden Globes?
Nikki Glazer.
Oh, she buried him, right? Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
She was phenomenal. That's actually kind of what skyrocketed her career.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, she was great that night.
And that's another thing. What I tell people that athletes love shooting the shit, talking smack on each other. Like Brian Urlacher told me stories with the Bears. We would play ping pong and in the facility, and we would just shoot the shit for like 30 minutes, ranking on each other, ragging on each other. I love that, man. Because here's the thing. If people pick on you, that means they like you. So you better take it,
Hear that, George?
He hears it. He's stroking his chin carpet hair right now, whatever you call it.
It's called the dick broom, I believe.
Yeah. and that's the thing too. Like, with Nikki Glazer on Tom Brady and all the social media now. Like Brady didn't grow up in that social media era. And a lot of these athletes playing now are. Do you think, Eddie, that social media, though, has changed how athletes interact with fans?
Yeah, they have to really be nice because that phone, oh boy, it's gonna capture you. I remember Doc Gooden and Daryl Strawberry told me, man, if we had social media in my era, forget it, I'll be arrested 100 times. So,
LT, can you imagine Lawrence Taylor on Instagram back then?
God, Lawrence Taylor. Yeah,
Fucking live feeding as he drives past the Meadowlands when he should be playing.
yeah, exactly. How crazy is that? I was like, wow, yeah. But the social media now, I mean, if you think about it now, as an athlete, like in the 80s and 90s before social media, guys will pick up girls left and right, even if when you were single, they would just grab a girl and no big deal. Nobody's watching. It's all on the down low. Now, the athletes got to be so careful, so careful. They can't do it.
Yeah,
So,
no matter what you do, even if they don't see them, there's always that one girl who's looking for attention who will screenshot all the DMs that said player or said actor has sent to them, and
they fall for that shit every day. They fall for that every fucking day. They get jammed up on that shit.
Oh yeah, and especially when you're the athlete and you're DMing a model or something like that, I'm gonna blow you up, man.
Oh yeah.
On purpose. And you can't do that. You just can't. Sorry, man.
No, fuck no. You got to be careful.
So, what was one story from an athlete that absolutely stuck with you for whatever it may be, whether it was the humor in it, the sadness in it, or just the joy from it? What was one story that you're going to remember that you got from an athlete?
Well, you're saying as far as a joyful one, or like
any one thing that just sticks with you. If you were going to have your Mount Rushmore of responses from an athlete, what's like the number one thing?
Yeah, that's a great question. Holy shit. I don't know, man. It's like I think if that athlete talks to a youngster while he's playing, I think that's great, but with me, since I'm old now, it's just in life, you take sports in life, you play to win, even if it's not a sport. For instance, your work, there was one guy in the NFL Hall of Fame speech. I forgot who it was, but he says, hey, if you're a janitor, then be a Hall of Fame janitor, man. Work hard, have everyone love you, respect you. And that means you did great. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's always an obstacle, guys. Us four, we always go through obstacles. There's always a problem. You're always going to try to beat it. You want to beat it. You want to reach the top. And it's that obstacle, and it's just play to win. Look, we're going to have bad days. We're going to have lazy days. We're going to have days that you don't want to do nothing, right? I get it. We're humans. But when you have a bad day, you ask yourself, Eddie, what's wrong with you? All your organs are working. You're not suffering. You know what I mean? You look at Jimmy Valvano's speech at the ESPYs.
Oh, my God.
Jesus, legendary.
Yeah, if you have a bad day, put that speech on, and I'll tell you right now, you're going to have a great day after 5 minutes of listening to him.
I actually used to do that. It's really weird you said that. I kind of got chills because whenever, I've had a bunch of shit happen in my life that didn't go my way. And I would always put that on. And the part where they try to play music to cut him off.
Yeah.
That right there was like, you know what? That dude's got less than 6 months to live. And he just told him, fuck you. I'm not done talking. You're going to listen to what I have to say. Because it's going to make a difference to somebody.
Yeah.
That's one of the greatest speeches of all time.
Absolutely. And, that's why I tell people, look, if you're healthy, you're spoiled. There's a lot of people suffering. And I know, matter of fact, one of the guys I know, I can't call it out because, it's really private, but he's going to lose his daughter at 27 years.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
And he told me my daughter got robbed. He got robbed.
Sorry to hear that.
It's incurable. And it's like, and that sucks because when you hear news like that, you ask yourself, what am I complaining about? What's my excuse?
Right.
I'm healthy. What's wrong with me? Oh.
Right. Yeah, I think the older you get, you start to realize like every day's a gift. Nothing's guaranteed. So just try and make the most of whatever. Yeah, sure. Maybe you're a little broke. Maybe your car broke down. Whatever. Who gives a fuck? You're healthy.
Right.
That's really all that matters.
So like if a plane crashes right now, at least I'm happy I died talking to you guys. So it's good.
Yeah.
with a stick in your hand, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Right.
Love that. I think that could apply to everything in life, like certain memories that you have of certain players that you love that might have, gone before us, at young ages. And that kind of transitions into a couple New York Giants questions we have for you here, Eddie.
Shit, go ahead, talk to me, baby.
Yeah. What are your earliest memories of the NFL growing up?
Well, I remember the refrigerator in '85 with the Chicago Bears, and I was like, man, this guy beat the Giants. Shit, I was a kid, and I was like, damn. All right, well, the Giants got to do something the following year, and guess what? In '86, they concluded it. You know what I mean? So it was a great and memorable. I love listening to the athletes back then, the motivational. Like when they're on the sideline, like, "Yo, we got this, baby, we got this." You know what I mean? Stuff like that. I love. I love how LT back then just destroying you, man. And as a kid, I didn't know he was high sometimes. I didn't know he was a troublemaker back then. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really pay attention to that. You're like, just play. I like the fact when I talk to the guys now, in '91, that Super Bowl, and I'm sure you guys know this, that I like talking what led to that moment, meaning my questions will be like from, to the guys, what did Bill Belichick tell you guys before that kick? What did he say? Leonard Marshall, Pepper Johnson. I had Carl Banks way back in the days when I was living in LA. It was a show called Where Are They Now in Sports. It was really short. But he told me that Bill Belichick told us that, listen, Norwood is 3 for 7 on turf from 40 yards up. So I'm telling you right now, he's going to miss. And, it's like, all right, you're nervous because what was it, like a 47-yarder, 48-yarder that he missed?
Yeah.
So, stuff like that. Another great example when I had John Starks basketball, when that famous dunk over Michael Jordan and Cartwright, I asked, hey, what led to that dunk? What did coach see anything? Did you guys see anything? He says, Pat Riley came up to me during the game and he said, hey, I see a weakness with BJ Armstrong. Here's the situation. I'm going to have Ewan set the pick and you're going to be on the wing and you're going to have space. So whether you shoot it, do what you got to do, but you're going to be open. Stuff like that. That's what intrigues me. I love shit like that. An ordinary fan be like, oh, he just dunked on him. Oh my God, holy shit, is it me? I'm thinking, what led to that dunk? What led to that dunk?
Yeah, to go up against Michael Jordan. And John Starks was a dog though, man. That team, I mean, the Knicks back then, I mean, the only thing in their way was Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And they were a great team.
And Reggie.
Yeah,
Reggie used to put the nuts to him too.
Yeah.
He did. He
killed him, Reggie Miller. But here's another great story with Darryl Strawberry, and and this is a great trivia question with Mets fans. People don't know this, but in the state of California, they had a city championship game in Southern California. So it was Darryl Strawberry's high school team, which is called Crenshaw High School, versus a school called Granada Hills. It was at Dodger Stadium. It was the final game in high school baseball, city championship game, and Granada Hills was winning 3-0, and by the third inning, Strawberry's team scored 2 runs. Now it's 3-2 Granada Hills, and the third base coach, well, I guess the head coach, tells his third baseman, hey, you're going to go pitch. That third baseman went into pitch, shut them down, and it was a future Hall of Fame quarterback. Name him. In the 80s.
Granada. No, not Montana. Too old. That's a good one.
Oh God, was it?
I'll give you a hint. He won a Super Bowl towards the end of his career as a starter.
Elway.
Elway?
Yep. It was John Elway. They shut him down.
I had a feeling it was him because he
He was a hell of a baseball player too.
He was on the fence.
He was drafted by the Yankees, wasn't he?
Yep. He was actually, because
he was drafted by
Baltimore drafted him. He's like, I ain't going there. Fuck that. I'm going spring training with the Yankees. And then they made a deal. Got the job with Denver.
Oh, I'm glad he didn't do anything with the Yankees. They didn't deserve somebody like him.
Right. Well,
he deserved it 25 more times than you did. So
So like stories like that, that's intriguing. That's what I love. I love that behind the scenes shit that nobody knows.
I agree. That to me, that's the most interesting shit. Shit we've never heard before. Mm-hmm. And like even Leonard Marshall, like we all know the hit on Joe Montana. We all know that. My favorite part was the story he gave us afterwards, where he talks about he's on the sidelines afterwards, and who was it? What fucking actor was it?
Billy Crystal,
Billy Crystal, thank you. Billy Crystal's
Greg Hines, Gregory
talking to him
Hines.
from the sidelines,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's like, "I think you just killed Joe Montana." He's like, "I think I did." that shit's the coolest to me. Speaking of that legendary defense, what do you think set that defense apart? What makes them an iconic defense? The '86 Giants.
They knew how to play together. They knew the playbook well. They had great instincts. They practiced well. And number one thing is Bill Parcells, because he was a great teacher. He was not just a great coach, but he was a great teacher. In coaching, if you have a great teacher, you're gonna go far. You really are going to go far. But Bill Parcells was also a player's coach, which is even more of a plus plus. Did guys like Bill Belichick? I don't think he was too much of like an army militant type of coach, right? It wasn't like you would never see, Bill Parcells, communicating with Tom Brady. It's like, hey, you know what? I want you to do this. That's it. Parcells would be like, yo, Phil, Sims, this is what I want. You're going to do it. I'm telling you right now. Then you go to the defense on the sideline. Listen, man, we got this fucking game. Keep the water running. That's what I mean by what kind of coach do you like? And that's the difference.
And it's funny you mentioned that because a younger Lawrence Taylor used to get his balls busted by Bill Parcells to the point where he said, listen, you either cut me or trade me, but either way, this isn't fucking working for me.
Mhm.
And they put him on the third team, and he always tells the joke, I was on there for 15 minutes.
Right. But when I talked to Leonard Marshall, he told me, I was like, hey, did he listen to Bill Belichick? And he was like, fuck no, he didn't care. And the thing is, what I like about Parcells was the type of guy, he would tell Belichick, hey, leave him alone, let him fucking party as long as he's responsible on any given Sunday. That's it. And he was responsible. He was responsible on the field. So the thing is, what I try to tell people is, don't try to take the character out of the character. That's his character. Leave him alone. As long as he's producing, leave him alone.
That's like you ever watch Save the Last Dance with Michael Jordan? That whole docuseries.
Mhm.
They cover that basically with Dennis Rodman.
Mhm.
Michael Jordan would tell Phil Jackson, just let him be him. If he needs a day or two off, he doesn't want to show up to practice. It doesn't fucking matter because when he comes on the court, he's going to produce.
He's going
Right.
to have
'Cause
15 more rebounds.
He's the fuck up guy.
Yeah. But that's the thing, guys. It's like guys like that, you can't be that type of coach. These are grown men, right? They're pros. They're making money, right? They're making massive money for the team and for the NFL. So it's like, if he's that guy and he's doing his job and he's like a superstar doing his job, why bother him? Why?
Right,
It's fair.
exactly. Yeah, he's producing.
He's
Leave him the
producing.
fuck alone.
Leave him alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what's crazy about LT, he had to do this in the New York market too. And luckily it was back in the 80s instead of now. I could only imagine now what that would be like for him. And Eddie, what do you think makes New York such a unique sports market? I'm sure you've been asked this a lot, but compared to other cities, what makes it so unique?
I'm going to answer it just like an athlete. And a lot of athletes say it. The fans know who your grandma is, who your kids are, who's your wife. They know your whole biography. That's what's great about New York fans. They know everything about you. We got 4 free agents from the Ravens. I guarantee diehard Giants fans, they're investigating their background. Oh, yeah, I know this guy. Okay, he's going to do this. Okay. Expectations are high. Okay, he better represent. All right, I'm going to go to the game. He better do his job. They know the team. That's what's great about New York fans. Look, I've been all over the nation. You got Atlanta Braves fan, let's say baseball-wise, right? They're the type of team, we make October, we're fine. It's okay. St. Louis Cardinals, same thing. We're all right, Out of New York, man. And when expectations are high, brother, you got to represent. We're not here just to get to the Super Bowl. We're here to win it. You want
unless
that?
unless you're Aaron Boone, then we just let you continually let us down a little bit.
Let him keep doing it. Let him keep doing it.
I gotta tell you though, they give Boone a lot of rope, man. I like Booney, but they give him a lot of rope, boy. I thought he was donezo after the Dodgers series.
Well, here's the thing. Sometimes that computer dictates you, and if you go against the computer, you might get your ass gone. You might be fired right there. And
That's true.
so sometimes you look. all right, let's say the Giants, the expectations this year is going to be high, right? You got a legendary coach, you got a great kids, Jackson and Scatterboo, you got Neighbor. But here's the thing: if they're not healthy, is it Harbrough's fault?
No.
Ah, if they drop passes right into their fucking midsection, is it Harbrough's fault?
No.
Right? So fans tend to blame coaches a lot. Now, are there some decisions that Dabo did? You're like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, I get it. I mean, I get that part. But you can't really blame the coaches because they're just calling the shots. But brother, you got to execute the plays.
You do. You do.
Yeah, if Neighbor's missing a lot of passes, are you really going to sit him? Come on. No way. Can't sit him.
They don't do that in sports, in professional sports in general right now. I mean, look at that. What was that offensive lineman this year? Hudson?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that kid was...
He had 4 penalties, 4 plays in a row, and he
You never
was
saw him
melting
again.
down.
He tried to take his
You
fucking
never
head
saw
off.
him again, but they didn't take him off. They didn't get him off the field.
Right.
I mean,
Parcells would have grabbed that dude's face mask and packed his ass up.
Yeah, hell yeah. But you know what is? There's a lot of sensitivity with athletes right now. The generation's different right now. How can you talk to them? A guy like Burns, I like Burns. I call him like a mini LT, just a mini one. You know what I mean? Because he's aggressive. He's after you. He's got that mentality like a lion. Like, oh, I'm gonna get you. You know what I mean? But some players are sensitive, just like kids nowadays. They're sensitive. Oh my God, I can't believe he said that to me.
You can't say that to me.
Right.
I've got feelings.
Right, I got feeling. Oh, brother,
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is the New York Giants are just renting you. The NFL is just renting you. Okay, and if you don't step up, then guess what? You're gone. It's that simple. You're gone. This league is so it's a cutthroat league, man. They don't give a shit about your health. They don't care. What can you do for our organization? That's the bottom line.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, speaking of the Giants, sorry, Nick, were you going to say something?
No, fucking go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm serious. Go ahead, man.
So, speaking of the Giants, is there one player in the Giants organization you haven't interviewed yet that you would love to get 45 minutes out of?
We all want.
I know the obvious answer.
Yeah, we all know. We all want LT, brother.
It's probably our same answer.
Right? Yeah, LT's my number one guy. I mean, at least I got his colleagues Pepper and Leonard. But who doesn't want to talk to LT? And I met him before. He's a great guy. He was shooting the shit. It was during the appearance. But that's.
I just wonder where it would go. Like that's the mystery to Lawrence Taylor to me. Like, where the fuck will it go? Is it going to go off the script? Is he going to be a little reserved in the beginning and then just fucking go nuts?
He's going off script. He don't give a shit. He don't care.
Oh, so good.
The Giants don't play anymore. You know what I mean? So what does he care?
Yeah, exactly. No, he seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Obviously a legend. I honestly think another fun one, and I don't think it's obtainable at this point, would be an Eli Manning. Like, when you watched him play, he seemed kind of just this very straight and narrow guy. But through the years, as he's retired, he's a pretty funny dude. He's got a lot of personality behind him. I think he'd be a fun one too.
Yeah, I think Eli is fun. You remember that commercial? Him and
Odell.
The ESPN
Dirty Dancing.
Yeah. No, but there was a commercial. Remember, like, he kicks him on the side. Like, when we were in elementary or middle school, we would kick some guy in the ass, like a sidekick, and then the teacher would turn around, and that's when I knew, okay, he's got a personality. When they did that commercial on ESPN, it was funny as shit. I was like, oh my God, all right, I like Eli.
Yeah, no.
That and the SNL skit where him and Peyton were just throwing darts at the kids in the street or playing street ball.
Yeah.
And Peyton's just barking out shit to him. He's like, "You suck, sit down."
Yeah, that was funny. So that Eli, and that's a good point too. I mean, besides LT, yeah, I would go with Eli Manning too, just to get shit out of him. He would talk, and I could imagine if Eli would have a couple of drinks and he would like, "Oh yeah, guys," he's a goofball. You can see it.
Yeah.
I still love that photo, and once again, kind of before the internet really took off to what it is now. There's a photo out there from like right after he got drafted. Eli Manning with, I don't even know if he's graduated college yet, but he is fucking lit, and he's with 2 other girls, and he's just wasted.
Oh shit!
Have you ever seen that?
No, I never saw that. Oh my
No,
god.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
He's a character. So when people walk away from a conversation with you, Eddie,
Mhm.
what do you hope they take away from it?
I like that guy. That's all I want people to say. I like that guy. And that's how I get my guys. When I meet them in person, right away, I like this guy. Here's my number. Yes. Like in Tampa just now, 2 weeks ago, Kyle Rudolph, I met.
Oh,
Right away, I told him who I interviewed. He's like, absolutely. Here's my cell. Let's go. Simple. I made him laugh. Talked for like 15 minutes. We were on the field for batting practice. He had his 2 kids there. And boom. You know, Rockhold, the UFC guy, during the Super Bowl week when I was there, you know, he said it. Hey, you have a lot of energy. I like you. Icky Woods, I just interviewed him. You know, I met him at the Super Bowl party. Right away, I like you, brother. I said, you're not going to big league me, are you? He goes, no. Here's my cell. Make sure you call me. So that's what I want to say. You know what? I like that guy. I'm going to talk to him.
love that. Love it.
So we're up to our last question. We've asked this to every guest we have. I'm a big diner guy. I love diners.
What are you, like
upstate
Charlie?
New York? Huh?
Charlie Sheen loves the diners. Did you see the documentary?
Winning.
Winning Tiger Blood. I love Charlie Sheen. So
I just read his book. Holy fuck! I read that book and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. And as it went on, I'm like, oh my god, I forgot about that, and I forgot about what a wild
Yeah.
life.
You know, actually, you know what's crazy? When I interviewed Denny Nagel, he told me a Charlie Sheen story with Denny Nagel's wife. You know, here was the story. He says Denny's with the Yankees now, and they're staying at the hotel. What was it called? The Crown Plaza. Yeah. And then he comes home, and on the nightstand, he sees Charlie Sheen phone number, and then he's like, he tells his wife, "You already got Charlie Sheen's number? What are you cheating on me already?" I mean, just because we're in New York. But it was a funny story. No, she told him, and then I posted that, and I invited Charlie for a collaboration. He accepted it in 5 minutes. If you go to Charlie Sheen's main page, you will see me and Denny Nagel, and he commented too. I love this story. Denny Nagel.
No shit.
Fuck yeah. Oh my god, I couldn't believe it.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So go ahead, go back to the diner part.
So I'm a diner guy, upstate New York, not really known for it. However, the tri-state area is. You residing in Queens. Do you have any? What's your favorite diner spot, if you have one?
George, the diner era is over in New York City. A lot of them.
I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, nah, it's not the same. It's not the same anymore. Yeah. So
Really?
yeah, there was a Brooklyn diner I used to go to when I was a kid. We would go there all the time. Now, no, not really. There's no diners out.
Even after the bars get out in Manhattan and all that. No?
Listen, it's not the same. I'm telling you, man. The city changed.
That's unfortunate.
You left, George. Yeah, I mean, you don't like to hear this. You spent more time up in Glens Falls now, wherever you are, than down here. You've lived more of your life upstate than in New York City. At this juncture.
It's hard to, pretty much was priced out like right after 9/11 there in high school age. Like if you didn't come right out of the gate hot or live with 8 roommates, you weren't living there anymore.
Right.
But the airline diner is still strong.
I
love the
remember-
airline diner.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, like, the teenager years, you would go to a nightclub, and then afterwards it'll be like 3, 4 a.m. and everybody's at the diner.
Mm-hmm.
No more.
No more, he says.
You just crushed his whole life. Look at him. He's broken.
Well, there's still a thing in New Jersey because every time most of our previous guests are from New Jersey or live in New Jersey, Leonard being one of them. Leonard rattled off like 8 diners, man. Like he loves.
Yeah.
Jersey must still be holding strong to the diners.
You know what's crazy? Leonard loves to eat, but he's thin.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
was hanging out with him 2 weeks ago, and he was like, "Yo, I take care of myself." Stomach was still flat. I was like, "Damn!"
Yeah.
I was like, "Damn!"
I know. I saw a photo of him recently, and I was like, holy fuck, that dude is still put together.
Yeah.
How old is Leonard now? 61. He's doing well. He's doing okay.
Yeah.
He looks good. But,
So did I answer all your question, guys? Because I don't want to be that guy. But like, oh no, you didn't answer that. Go ahead, please ask.
We actually have 136 more if you want to set an
Go ahead,
alarm for
baby.
that. We're just
Yeah,
messing
this is gonna run till 6 a.m. if you don't mind.
All right, you got it. You got you guys. I'm from the Big
Eddie.
Apple. We don't sleep.
hell yeah,
That's
man.
true.
This has been
Eddie,
fun.
thank you very much for being on the show.
Yeah,
Oh, my
man.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Where
A lot of fun.
where can people find your work and the Eddie Mata Show?
The Eddie Mata Show, full interviews. I don't do short clips on YouTube. I think it's just full interviews. Is on YouTube. You just type the Eddie Mata Show. Now, if you want mini clips, you could go to the Instagram Eddie Mata 1 and the Eddie Mata Show, Facebook mini clips, the Eddie Mata Show, TikTok Eddie Mata 1. It's everything is there. So, you know, in our generation, the attention span is more than what? I'll give them 30 seconds. So with mini clips, they could go there, and that's where my views are on the Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram.
Awesome.
Thank you, Eddie. Appreciate you.
You guys are great. Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to the Giants season. I think we'll definitely make January. Hopefully we're all healthy. Hopefully we could protect Jackson Dart. Look at Indiana Jones, goes to Indiana, and next thing you know, what do you start off? Like 6-2? They're like, well, hold on a minute, man. Why'd you do this for the Giants? Well, Indianapolis said, hey, let's protect him. That's the key. We protect Jackson Dart. We'll be playing in January.
He got another $80 million. This guy has a lot of money in his career, boy.
Oh, George, come on. He deserves what he's getting.
$40 million a year.
How do we mute Tom?
Not the
How do we
exact
mute Tom?
number, but he deserves a chance to get paid like a decent starting
Why?
caliber
Why,
quarterback.
Tom? What has he done? What has he
Here
done,
we go.
Thomas?
Well, let me ask you this here before we go. What do you think this year? Do you think remember, guys, we know our superstars, right? We know our studs. It's the little guys, the offensive line. We have the defense, the cornerbacks, right? Those 4 Ravens that we just signed. Do you think they will help the team?
Pat
Oh, yeah.
Ricard definitely will. He's a phenomenal fullback. I like that we're bringing a fullback back into the play style. That's power run. That's Giants kind of, going back to Charles Way and other good teams or who were the other ones? Madison Hedgecock, right?
Hedgecock, Finn. Yep. Mhm.
We've always kind of had a fullback with the exception of the Dayball, Shermer, Judge, conglomerate. Ricard and Scadaboo is going to be a fucking problem.
Yeah.
And
Now you
likely, man.
have 2 bad motherfuckers blocking.
And we got that cornerback, right? That cornerback he signed for a lot of money. What's his cornerback?
Greg
cornerback.
Newsom.
Greg
Newsom. Listen, he's going to help out.
Yeah,
I
no,
think so too.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good defense. I mean, listen, we're gonna be an all-around team, man. Again, as this famous word, healthy. That's the key.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Eddie,
Do we have an easy schedule this year or no? I didn't see the schedule yet.
not released yet, but
Not released, yeah.
Oh, it didn't release yet? Okay.
we'll find out.
I'm sure we'll get our fucking shit pushed in like every other year. We're playing world leaders every week.
Right.
They do the Giants dirty in that. I don't know why. I don't know if it's like
Last year's schedule was unreal. I mean, I was like, how the fuck did
Yeah, man.
Jeez, with this schedule.
And with the
it'd be
team
nice
we
to
were,
have an easy one.
we competed for 3 quarters every game. Like we were actually in it every single game. We just fucking blew.
What about
league
the
in
game
third quarter.
against Denver, man? We had
Oh,
5
man.
minutes left. Are you kidding me? Oh, that hurt, man.
You know
That
how
hurt.
many people told me that was over? And I'm like, no, it's not. You have no idea. You clearly don't watch football and the Giants if you think this game is over.
I thought they were going to fire Dable on the plane that night. I had a vibe like
They
this is
should have
it.
left him in Denver and say, enjoy the cold. Hey, here's my question, guys. This year's draft, who are the Giants looking at? Did you guys get any research on that? Are they looking at anybody special?
Sonny Styles. You're looking at Cornell Tate. It depends on where the chips fall. I mean, obviously, number 1 is kind of a lock with Fernando Mendoza,
Mhm.
but I think 2 through 5, depending where they go, or trades.
What's our pick? What do we have?
5.
Number
We're
5.
Number 5. And at this point, it's going to be like, like he said, who's there? There's a lot of talk about us getting another running back within Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame. But I'm starting to think with all the free agency moves, we're probably going towards Caleb Downs, safety from Ohio State, the Ohio State.
He's got a bad ACL though.
I
Yeah.
don't think that's where we're going.
All right, guys. before we go, do you think Mendoza is going to be a solid quarterback in the league? What do you think? What's your take?
There's
No.
no way. There's no way to find out.
No, because before he went to Indiana, he was putting up pedestrian numbers. He always had the swagger and the mentality to be good, but the athleticism and some of the physical tools I think are missing for him to be an elite caliber quarterback in this league. I think it'll be okay. I just don't know him going out in Vegas with all the competition. I mean, you got Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, who when he comes back from the injury, and even Bo Nix, guys who have all played well the last few years, and it all depends. Clint Kubiak,
But you could also argue Ashton Genty, Brock Bowers. There's a lot of young people in that offense too.
But what Eddie said before, who's blocking for him? Do the Raiders have solid pillars on that offensive line? No, they don't right now. They have all the skilled players in the world. They have nothing for him in front right now.
Well, and I think the other big takeaway here is what's his work ethic? What's his psyche? Tom Brady,
I think it's very good.
Nobody knew who he was. So is he going to put in the work? Is he going to study? Like, there's so many factors in that I don't really know. I guess time will tell.
I like the kid, but
I think here's the thing. I think there's a motivation for him. His mom is going to go down anytime soon, right? He's going to work extremely hard to say, hey, I want to hang in the NFL. Also, remember, Tom Brady's he's the owner too, right? I wouldn't be surprised if Tom Brady goes on the field and helps him out in practice.
Yeah.
Hey, this is what you need to do. This is what I see. You know what I mean? Who knows? I'm cheering for the guy. I really want him to be successful. But you know how it is in the NFL. It's a whole different ball game.
yeah.
So
That's where my concerns come from. Because before this year, he wasn't talked about. He had this good year with Indiana, really good year, phenomenal. But he also had everything set up around him great. Offensive line, I don't want to get into, stats and everything, but you get what I'm trying to say. He had the personnel around him to be an elite talent.
And that's why it's not fair to some quarterbacks that, come up and they don't have the system.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Sam Darnold, right? I mean, the Jets didn't protect him. What he did, a different franchise, won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Minnesota's got to be kicking themselves in the ass for that one, letting that motherfucker go.
No, here's the thing. I heard that Minnesota doesn't have confidence in their other quarterback. Their quarterback from Michigan. Now they brought in the Arizona kid, right?
They just brought Kyler Murray in. Yeah.
So now you're telling me you don't have confidence in that kid now.
Yeah, but you got to remember the
Kevin
difference
O'Connell
now versus when we were growing up. If you remember, rookies would sit behind players when we were growing up.
3 to 4 years.
You weren't expected to be the cat's ass right out of the gate. You were going to learn. If that guy went down in an injury, they'd put you in there. God, Phil Simms, they benched him for Scott Bruner a bunch of times, even once he got the starting job. They don't do that now. They hand you the keys. They give you like 15 months. Next man up.
They did it to Troy Aikman. He started 1-15. Remember his rookie year? But
Peyton Manning had a terrible rookie year. I mean, there's been a few.
Yeah. I really hope it's gonna be great football. I mean, I can't wait for football. I love football. It's my second sport. My number one is baseball, as you guys can see. But football is my second, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. I love the fall. I love football. It should be fun. But yeah, right now we'll focus on baseball and the summer that's coming, and fuck this winter, because good God, I'm ready for it to be over.
Yeah, exactly. All right, listen, I know you guys had enough of me, so thanks so much for having me. Listen, you guys are great. A lot of fun.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Eddie.
I'll talk
Cheers.
to you.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Later.
What's going on next week, George?
Next week, we have two-time Super Bowl champion Gary Reason in the house, hanging out with us. We're going to get into his new book, which is coming out that week. We're going to talk about his career with New York. We're going to try to get into, like we said tonight with Eddie, some of the stuff behind the scenes. Hopefully he's going to relax, hang out, and just talk Giants football with us. Obviously, we're going to bring up the hit, right? That fucking hit is incredible.
It's phenomenal. But mainly
that fucking hit is like right behind the Leonard Marshall, Joe Montana. Like the Leonard Marshall play is a little more of a visually appealing thing, obviously. But that fucking hit Gary Reason's played, oh my God. Like,
and
there'd be penalty flags all over the field if that was today.
Oh my god! And the fucked
Yeah.
up part is like, a lot of people just take Leonard Marshall's hit or Reason's hit, and everybody gives credit to LT for all these fucking hits. If they don't really,
I know.
if they're not a big Giants fan, they're like, yeah, that was LT. Look at that hit. But no, yeah, that hit is phenomenal, and Reasons should be a very fun guest next week.
One thing, you know what's funny? Hey, it's funny you mentioned that. When we had Leonard on and we talked about the Montana hit, there's a film angle where it's from like the defensive line angle facing Montana, so you could see what Montana's doing. And as soon as you see LT get into the frame, because LT's trying to get an angle on him, Montana stops for like a second and a half and
Yep.
just stares at LT. And that's exactly the point when Marshall gets up and had the time to. So yes, that play was, obviously affected by Lawrence Taylor.
Awesome guest. Cheers to that.
Go
Thank you, man.
G-Man. Fuck
Go Big
Dallas.
Blue.